Hey everyone, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at the final episode of Berserk Season 1. As we now know, as many of you do know, it has been confirmed for our second season in 2017. But we're going to be looking at the final episode, episode 12, and also the whole series. I'm going to be talking about briefly what happened to this episode and just kind of what the series has offering for every single category, like my regular reviews. But if you're new to my channel, which is perfectly fine, what I do with my last episode reviews, as always, and I have to explain this when I do these reviews, is that I talk about the show's last episode, of course, so I'm going to talk a little bit about episode 12, but I will talk more about the series and kind of just how it has wrapped up in general, like what I thought about it, and of course give it my final score of the whole thing. But anyways, let's talk about what happened in 12 real fast. So 12 had some big, huge moments that are very manga related and very story related. I mean, these are important things. We have, the beginning realization of Griffith once more. He rises back up after all the sacrifices of the creatures. He rises once more in the day as the White Knight coming back alive again, or the White Hawk, excuse me, coming back alive. But as many of you know, he is not human anymore. He's something entirely different. So that's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do. Of course, what they're going to follow from the manga, what they're going to do differently with the show in general. We also saw, of course, that we have everyone going in their own separate directions. We have Guts and Casca running off with a horse to a different area completely. Isadora and Farnese and Serapico go and decide, hey, we're going to follow him too, because Farnese really wants to follow Guts and find him because she feels like she's needed to follow his strength, I guess. Now, let's talk about the series. We're going to talk about this, all right? So, I'm going to break it down like I do with my normal reviews. Story-wise, even if you have issues with the whole manga adaptation versus the anime adaptation of this, story-wise, it was not bad. We had a lot of good stuff here and there. It did a nice job of kind of blending a lot of the manga chapters into one season of 12 episodes. And you always have to give some slack to shows that do this, because there are almost 30 something chapters or 30 something volumes of Berserk out currently. I think there's like 33, I want to say 32, I'm not 100% sure, I forgot off the top of my head. But they have to be able to take a lot of that and put it into one season, and 12 episodes especially. So it's not really surprising if I think about it. And for other people, you have to realize that's kind of a hard task. Story-wise, it was okay. It had its moments of ups and downs, but for the most part, I enjoyed the story wholly. Animation-wise, or wholly, like, I mean, not wholly literally, like wholly, together. Animation-wise, I know people are going to get on my case. I know certain people are going to get on my case with this. Berserk had what I consider okay animation. The CGI, talking about that, I can talk about all day with the issues it has and the problems it has, and the 2D stuff of being was amazing on it. Like, the 2D stuff is really what I loved about Berserk 2016. But we get more of the 3D CGI stuff, so we really don't get to see a lot of the 2D stuff, unfortunately. For what it was worth, though, it wasn't bad. It was not bad. It had some questionable animation at times, but the art and animation wasn't bad overall. I enjoyed it. It really is not something that I think killed the show. I know a lot of people say it does, but I enjoyed the show for what it was. I had no issue per se. It's not great. It's okay. Sound-wise, music, OST, voice acting, all very good. Probably the highlights of the season of Berserk, and just in this Berserk 2016 overall. It had some excellent stuff. The OST was amazing. The voice acting strong as always. I expect nothing less from Berserk. Finally, my own entertainment of it. I didn't dislike this Berserk 2016. I didn't have really the same issues other people had with it. I know it has some weak adaptations. I know it skips things. I know it's not perfect animation, but I enjoyed it. Now, I have to say though, as always with my reviews, I try to keep them as unbiased as I possibly can. That's almost impossible for a reviewer, but I try my best at it. When it comes to rating this, Berserk, if I had to give it a score from A through F, it has to get a solid C. Berserk has a lot of issues. A lot. If you're a fan of the manga, you're gonna be hating the show nonstop. That's one thing I notice. A lot of people, if they're diehard fans of the manga, they have a lot of issues with this. Some fans will enjoy it for what it's worth. I mean, I know plenty of them that do enjoy it, regardless of how bad the adaptations are. But they do have issues with the adaptation. As a show, the CGI is poor. And it is really, really poor and noticeable. I mean, there are times where they do some weird animation things and weird art styles that just kind of take away from the experience overall. And while I had no issue with that, it's going to be something that's noticeable for a lot of people, especially in the newer age of anime, when CGI has been done a lot better than this. I mean, you can just look at Knights of Sidonia. Even Ajin had better CGI, I think, than this. So I mean, honestly, it's noticeable. And story wise and everything else wise, I'm not even gonna talk about the sound, because the sound I think is perfect on Berserk the Last Truth. Story wise, it was hit or miss at times. We had a lot of stuff that could have been explained better. We had a lot of stuff that wasn't explained very well. Overall, see, like I said, it is not a horrible show. I think if you are a fan of Berserk, you'll want to give it a shot. I will completely understand people saying, "Oh, your review is shit for this," or you should have said this or that. I enjoyed the show. It fought against a lot of the scoring, because I could have given this a lower score, but realistically, it's a C. Even a C minus, it's close to, but I'll give it a C because it does things right in certain places, does things wrong also. It's a good average show. Was it the best thing of this year? No. Was it the worst thing of this year? No. But it's like somewhere dead middle. And I feel one reason why I use this image particularly, you might be wondering why that is because it kind of has, I think, every reaction people have for it. It has Guts right there showing, the agony of the kind of show in general. We have Casca's amazement at the show. We have the guy who's in the back who's looking at the horizon hoping there's better stuff. I'm getting very symbolic and metaphorical with this, but it's just how it is. Anyways, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this review. As always, if you did like the review, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, the whole nine. Until our paths cross again in the next review, have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.